Good morning, Findlay Dreamers.
Good morning, Mrs. Adams.
And good morning, Findlay Scholars.
Good morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning, Findlay family.
Good morning, Mr. Kirby. And I'm so happy to see Fabian and Anthony. Thank you so much for being on with us, both of you. Exciting times.
This is great because, you know, when we have technology issues, we don't really know what's going to happen, but things always seem to work out, no matter what. Yesterday, I was in both second grade classes that are here at school, and I heard students sharing their research about pollinators. But you know what other students were doing? They weren't just sitting there. They were listening. And Mrs. Hall said to me, we have speaking that we're working on, but we're also working on listening. So the students who were listening for 1 star, something good they could say, and 1 step, something that would move their information or presentation up to an even better level. So when we listen to what people need or to information that is being presented, we learn so much. And I'm planning to listen a lot today.
Yes. That's one of my favorite things to do is listen. And I was listening to Mr. Sun share a story about a student yesterday. And it was about Benson. Benson is working on a goal, and he's met that goal every single time. I heard it and I saw the smile on Benson's face because he's achieving and accomplishing something very important to him. So thanks to both of you out there for trying your best and making this happen. It's a teamwork effort. Then I'm also listening, or will be listening, to Success Council, because what they're going to do today is they're going to be coming up with successes they've had this school year and then sharing those with their class. And then I think I'm going to get them on morning meeting as well. I'm excited to have that happen next week. So that's going to take place. And then we have Cool Kids. I'm going to be listening to them and watching what they're doing. And they're getting ready for a change next year. So we're working on that. The leaders are going to help show other leaders in 5th grade how that's going to happen and how they can adjust, appropriately and help themselves out. And then one other thing, Fabian, I was listening to you before we taped this meeting. All I can say is, wow, so thoughtful. You have a lot to say. And Anthony, I can't wait to listen to what you have to say to with a shout out. All this is so good. Don't you think, Mr. Kirby?
I do. I think we're working on the foundations of communication. And it reminded me, with you two speaking, it reminded me as I listened, it reminded me of a communication class I took in college. It's okay, 4th grade. It's not time for that yet. But when I learned this lesson, we talked about speaking and listening, especially with someone who might have a different opinion than you. And what I learned were 3 words that helped me listen even better. And that was tell me more, or maybe please tell me more. Especially when maybe you're not quite understanding something, and before you jump to a conclusion without really listening and without really hearing what a person is saying. Mrs. Adams always says, when something frustrates me, she gives me the advice, be curious, not furious. Seek more information, listen more carefully, right? And so then I'm reminded of this lesson where a professor once told us, be careful while you listen that you're not listening to your own thoughts, because sometimes when we're listening, we're thinking of the next thing to say. We're thinking of how we can We can show you that we're listening by repeating it back. But in doing that, we're not really hearing the other person because we're so focused on what I'm going to say next. And sometimes if you do really listen and you give all of your mind and your ears and all your senses to really hear what's happening in front of you or what another person is saying, that will inform your ideas. That will inform your opinion. That will maybe calm your furiousness if you might happen to be angry or confused or saddened. It can really help to understand. So I had a flash to college of my own experience, and then I flashed forward thinking of all the great things that these students will learn when they go to college. And like you said, super impressed with the mind that these students have. And Fabian, I'm just going to let you take it away.
I have a shout out.
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
I have a shout out to my teacher Reward for making more challenges for me, because mostly they're a lot easier before, but now it's a little harder. And like an example is writing. I was not good at explaining at all. Now I'm good at explaining.
Excellent. And that's everything we hope for. That growth and that improvement is step by step, little changes, right? Thanks, Fabian.
No problem.
Anthony, good morning.
I got a shout out
Shout
Shout
out.
out.
for Miss Reward for helping us every time we get confused on a reading problem, math problem, and yeah.
Excellent. Both awesome shout outs. And what I heard was that Mrs. Rivard helps you maybe tune into something you might have missed or listen carefully. Would that be accurate, Fabian, Anthony? Yeah, that's a great skill. That's gonna come in so handy when you're in college listening to a lesson, right? So are you ready for a college cheer? 1, 2, ready, go.
2, 4, 6, 8.
When does this day graduate?
20, 20, 20, 32.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does fourth grade graduate?
20, 20, 20, 33.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does third grade graduate?
20, 20, 20, 34.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does second grade graduate?
20, 20, 20, 35.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does first grade graduate?
20, 20, 20, 36.
2, 4, 6, 8. When does kindergarten graduate?
20, 20, 20, 37. Dreamers, dream it!
Dream it!
We believe!
We believe!
Whole heart!
Whole heart!
Be the change!
Be the change. And then wait.